This is a quick update to the Dr. Death series. Now this is part 4. Again, my name is Kobe Simpson, and I have uncovered a lot of terrible things regarding a doctor that I worked under. I'm still not going to say the doctor's name right now, or the facility, or the town that it has taken place in. I was fired last night from that position because I whistleblew, right? I uncovered it and leaked the information out to the appropriate authorities, including the IDOI, the state's attorney general, and soon to be some other ones as well. And I'll be able to talk more about it here soon. But they fired me, which they, so first off, I've had 7 total death threats in the last 3 or 4 days. The previous one was last night on my way to work. As soon as I entered in the town where I was working, a black SUV literally came out of nowhere from so I was at a light, and to my left front there is a car dealership, and I started hearing revving, and then I hear what sounds like a car hitting stuff, right? This car, I look over, and again, a black SUV, a normal black SUV. It may have been a Chevy, I'm not sure. It wasn't cops or anything like that, obviously, but it was going over the curbs of the parking lot of this fucking car dealership. And it went across the oncoming traffic road and headed straight towards me. I thought the guy was drunk. I hit my gas, go through the red light, and barely miss a car that was coming from to the right, or from the right to go straight. And I started peeling out, and I get on the phone to call 911 to alert them that there is a drunk fucking guy driving crazy as hell, right? As I'm on the phone with dispatch, I then see in my rearview mirror that this guy is actually coming towards me now, and fast too. So I just didn't know what to think. But then he tries ramming me, and my whole mentality literally shifted from this guy's drunk to this is one of the people who have been giving me death threats regarding this story. Now, I wouldn't be receiving death threats and someone physically trying to kill me and run me off the road if the doctor was innocent, right? No, not at all. And as most of you guys can tell, if you've been watching my videos, my voice has gotten a lot better, so that's good. But anyway, he literally tries to fishtail me, and I sped up and turned over more to the right, to the side of the road, and I hit some rubble and some grass, and I actually start to spin out a little bit. Wasn't bad. I got straightened out really quick, but I'm on the phone with dispatch, and by that point I've already told them that this guy is trying to hit me and I need help. Luckily it's a small town, and 2 cops were actually one was in a parking lot to the left of me, and the other one was around the corner at a gas station. So they got behind us real quick, and the guy in the SUV turned to the right and went behind a store where there's a neighborhood and stuff. And the other cop got behind me and started flashing his blinkers, not his head or his cop lights. I didn't know what, I was assuming I'm not getting pulled over, right? Because I'm on the phone with dispatch saying, yes, there's a police officer behind me. I made sure that there was a police officer, in that area with that type of cruiser. She confirmed it because whatever. I'm not going to get into that part. But anyway, I didn't know what to do. I just stuck my hand out with thumbs up. I was just, yeah, man, I'm doing good. And he blinked his blinkers again as soon as I pull into work, because he followed me to work. Thank God. I pull over, and he pulls up next to me and asks me what I do. And I told him, I said, I've received several death threats in the past few days regarding information of a doctor at this place, which I pointed to my place of employment at that time. And I said, I need to talk to somebody. I need to file a formal report. And he said, well, I wouldn't be the one, because he was fairly new, he said, but I needed to speak to a detective. So he then, dispatch was still on the phone at that time, actually. So I said I was still on the phone with them, and I said, I'm okay, everything's good, I'm on with them. And he said that he would radio in for a detective to come out and see me, and then dispatch said the same thing, that they would make sure that someone came out to see me here soon. I told them make sure they call me when they get there so that I can come out and speak with them, because I didn't want anyone knowing I was talking to a cop. I didn't want anyone questioning why, even though, I was the victim in this, right? I didn't want them to know because, again, it has to do with Dr. Death, which is their medical director of the facility, right? So, again, I'm not going to say what the name of the doctor is just yet. I will eventually. It's going to be all over the news because one reporter has picked up the story, and I have two more that have actually messaged me, but I am going to go through it first with this specific reporter who reached out to me first. I am extremely grateful for her, and if you see this, thank you. I am beyond grateful for this opportunity to actually spread this message on a massive scale, because so many people have suffered from this woman's actions. And anyway, the detective that showed up did not call me. In fact, I don't even know how he got in the building. Someone had to have let him in, right? And I was at the nurse's station getting a report and about to count narcs and stuff. And he walks up and he says, "Hey, I'm assuming you're the one I'm supposed to talk to. I'm the only male nurse there." So I said, "Yes." I said, "Can you just give me a second? Let me finish counting these." He said, "Yeah." So we stayed there. I counted the rest of the narcs. And then I look behind me and I see both the administrator and director of nursing staring at me like I'm doing something wrong. First off, I never let the cop in, right? I said I'd meet him outside. We go into a private room, discuss everything, and he's going to file a report. I'm pressing charges because of the death threats. The death threats is actually what he wanted me to talk about most, and he asked me to show him proof of certain things, and I did. I'm not going to mention those things because that director of nursing and that administrator and the corporate of that company, they've been watching my TikToks. So just in case they're watching this, you guys fucked up. I was a good nurse for you guys. I cared about the patients. I bought one of your patients a fucking iPad because he fucking deserved it. And everyone treated him like shit and let shit get stolen from him daily. Every fucking time. I treated him fucking amazingly. Every patient loved me. Every patient. Even one that I got into a fight with one time, we ended up coming, back to being friends. And it wasn't even my fault why we got into an argument. But anyway, 4 hours into my shift, the administrator walks up and says, "Hey, I need to talk to you. Can you grab your stuff?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he said, "Oh, those are your glasses?" I was like, "Yeah." And he said, "Can you grab those?" I was like, "Yeah." "Do I need to grab anything else?" I already had a feeling, right? And I said, "Do I need to grab anything else?" He said, "Yeah, anything you brought." Okay. So I grab all my shit, my bag of grapes, which I just started opening, which one day I'll tell you guys stories about grapes and me. Anyway, I grab my lunchbox, my backpack, all my equipment that I bring with me, like my otoscope, everything, blood pressure, I bring it all. And I immediately turn around and say, "You're walking me out of here, aren't you?" He said, "Yes, I am." I said, "Is it because of what happened earlier?" He said, "Yes, it is. You called the cops and had them come into the building." I said, "No, I didn't." I said, "I called the cops because I had a death threat on the way here regarding the stuff I found out about the doctor, right?" And he said, "You called the cops and let them in the building." I said, "No, I called the cops. Someone let them in because I was at the nurse's station," right? He was acting as if like, "Oh, it was a HIPAA violation that a cop was walked in and saw these people," right? Bullshit, man. And if you got a problem with that, find out who let them the fuck in. But anyway, he already knew about the stuff that I leaked, the information about that doctor. He fired me, which I have on recording from another coworker, by the way, that is the real reason they fired me, was because I talked to the cops about this doctor and that I had released information to social media and to the state's attorney general, the IDOI, all this stuff. They don't want me slandering that doctor, is the words they used. So I now no longer have a job. My livelihood is gone. So now I have nothing but time to invest into this story, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Please pray for me, guys. Last night was the closest it's come to me actually getting killed, but I'm still here. So again, please pray for me. Please spread this message, and when I get more updates, I'll share them with you guys. Thank you all for the support you've given me so far. I truly appreciate it.